Hey, it's Tyler. All right, I have a real quick thought. I was just practicing and going through some tunes, and I had this realization. Yes, that's my cat. No, Murphy, I didn't have a realization about you. So my realization was that tritone root movement is kind of like the Uber of jazz harmony. It gets you from one place to the next really consistently and a lot. It's almost ubiquitous. So I'm just going to throw out a couple of tunes and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the first one, I'll do Sweet Georgia Brown. I'll do it in G. I'm not going to play the melody and the changes, but just enough to get you started. So that's the first half of the tune. This tune is interesting because it starts on 6. A couple of other videos I've talked about the importance of 4 and 6 in jazz harmony as it relates to 1. So this is a really interesting tune that starts in 6, much the same way as Just Friends starts on 4. So if I'm playing in this tune in B flat concert, I'm actually going to start on dominant 6, which is G7. So that's not the point of the video. So second half of the tune, so back on dominant 6. So now we get to the point of the tune. Here's this tritone bridge between minor 6 now and sharp 2 diminished. So there's the minor 6. Jump a tritone, and then that gets you to a 3-6-2-5. So in this case, a tritone jump between roots gets you from 6 into a fully diminished kind of, almost like a passing chord, a prep chord, into your 3-6-2-5-1 to get back to tonic. Another tune that does that, I'll do it in the same key, just to show you the relationship, is something like Donna Lee. So I'm definitely not going to play the melody on that one, it's almost, well, it's not almost, it's exactly the same as Sweet Georgia Brown. So you're on minor 6, tritone, up to a sharp 2 fully diminished prep chord, 3-6-2-5. So those are two standards that are eerily similar in the way that the tritone bridges your 6, getting you into your 3-6-2-5. Another way that tritone is kind of like the Uber of jazz harmony. I know that's totally corny, but I had to come up with a some kind of a catch for this video, and this is actually, it's really interesting. So something like Have You Met Miss Jones? Right, so that's the A section. I'll get into the bridge here. So here's another cool bridge factor of a tritone. We're almost at the penultimate change in the bridge. To get there, I'm going to go from my current key center, tritone away, to find my next to last 2. And then up a half step for the last A. So in that manner, a tritone root movement or in between a root movement, is a way to quickly get you to a remote key area that will then get you back to your home key in more complex tunes. And it's really interesting because something like the bridge on Miss Jones is obviously a huge influence for somebody like John Coltrane, who then wrote Giant Steps based on this. I won't get into the whole thing. I did a couple videos on the augmented triad and the link between Miss Jones and Giant Steps. But if you think about Giant Steps, so at the end of those little 2-bar chunks, 4 or 5 chord kind of modular units, so here's the first one. Between that major chord and getting into the next 2-5 that sets up your next quick harmonic movement is, you guessed it, it's a tritone. So here I am. In this case, it happens to be E flat major. So I go to A, and that's my minor of my next 2-5. Same thing, right? B major, tritone to get my next 2. And then here's where the tritone relationship is really hammered home, because then it's a tritone literally between every single major chord, and then to find your next 2 of the next 2-5, you just go a tritone away from the roots. So E flat major in this key, A minor, G major, right? So C sharp minor. There we are in B major, so tritone to F. And really the only departure there to get you back to the top of the tune is just to go down a whole step now. So I don't think you can overstate the importance of the relationship, the tritone relationship between root movement and standards. It's pretty, I don't know if it's inconspicuous or conspicuous, but it's one of those things where you start thinking about it and then all of a sudden you're seeing it everywhere. I know there's a name for that. I forget there's a technical term for, it doesn't have to be music related. It's like when maybe you hear an unusual word, or you learn a word for the first time, then you start hearing everybody talk about it, or you see something really crazy or out of the ordinary, and then all of a sudden you're seeing it everywhere. This is kind of one of those things with jazz harmony. Once you become a little bit more aware of that tritone relationship between roots, you start seeing it a lot. And it's actually cool because, I mean, not just for the fact that it helps you learn tunes, it helps you do stuff in different keys, but it also helps your composition. I think it helps if you're a chordal player, it helps your comping. So yeah, be on the lookout for tritone relationship between root movements. Okay, thanks. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.